Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to RSF1, the F4 division, coming to you live from the Spanish Grand Prix. My name is Scorpion, BHAFC Scorpion. By myself for tonight, for the time being. I might be by myself for till the end, but we have 13 drivers here, a slightly depleted field, but I'm sure they'll provide the entertainment for us around this track. So if you guys haven't seen the last race, I implore you to watch it. It was a very dramatic race where only 8 drivers finished around Baku. Had a safety car as well, which is a very rare thing these days. Plus had a mix-up of results as well. Not the usual people up front. Championship contenders had a difficult race, so it was a tough one, but we are here tonight, maybe a little bit of a calmer race potentially. But yes, Q1 I think is going to be a little bit of a practice session, so for the time being I can go through what happened actually last week. I said 8 people finished, and the winner of that was Ella Blazeglunds in the Williams, getting his first victory of the season. RSF1 Webster actually came home in second, picking up his first podium in league racing, as much as far as I'm aware, ever since I commentated on him anyway. Tigosaurus that we're on board with right now, he finished in third place, was actually the only championship contender that had decent points in third place. Jay Locker was 4th. Timmer picked up some very good points in 5th. Acer and the McLaren was 6th. Helking Tomo broke about 4 or 5 front wings in his way to 7th, and Overcom Orphan finished in 8th. And that was all the finishes in that very chaotic race. So from that, we are looking at our championship leader, Tigosaurus, in the Alfa Romeo. He has overtaken the lead over McCracken, who unfortunately is not here tonight. He's one of the absentees. So a big opportunity for Tigosaurus to gain the upper hand. So Tigosaurus now has a 6-point lead over his own teammate. Then third place, we have the returning Primus Gaming in Zirapol. It is great to see him back. Obviously, we know his absence and obviously hope him all the best. We're all behind him, obviously, and hopefully he can have a good race tonight. He's third in the championship. He's only 11 points back from Tigosaurus. Fourth place is Spiral Acer Facer in the McLaren. He is 13 points back. Blazer Guns, after the victory, he's now on 27 points. He is 24 behind Tigosaurus. Timmer is 6th on 26 points. Then you've got Rebster up to 7th with that podium on 25. Jedi David is on 24, Alco Saints on 20, BVB4 was on 16, Acer on 14, J-Lock on 12, Timonique on 9, Overcom Orphan on 6, and Tomo on 6 points, which means the Alfa Romeos in the Teams Championship have a 37-point lead over Red Bull, and then McLaren is a further 11 points back. And at the moment, the Haas drivers are yet to score in this championship, but I think that may change very, very soon, as Acer Face is coming round to complete a lap. This is more like a practice session. I don't expect any of these guys to crash out. I hope they don't before we go into Q2. So we do have a little bit of a lull before we go into this. We really get things rolling. There's Timmer in the Renault. Had a very good result last time out, 5th place, as the back end steps up there. It's going to get the stream up, guys. 8 people watching, which is good. So just going to get this up so I can see any comments coming in. And there we are. Yeah, so Tim is beginning a lap now. Who else can we ride on board with? Primus, there he is. He's just finding his way through the final section. There's a bit of a slow down lap. Yes, Evening Shrimper putting a comment in. Yeah, I believe the organisers or the top of the league are looking into that. Obviously, there are very reasons why there are people that are absent here today. Holidays and prior arrangements. That's what I've been told anyway, so I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. But of course, they're always on the lookout for any reserves or anything like that. Rebster on his outlap now. Fantastic result, obviously, last time out in Baku. Second place. Could have been a win, actually. Because Blaze Guns actually broke his front wing with about 2 laps to go and had to sort of crawl round with Rebster closing him down. But unfortunately, the gap was too big, but he was still happy with his second as he starts his lap. Patronus, in answer to your question, yes, I have. Yes, I have. So that's given me the ability to stream. So all is good. I must mention Gentle Resiege here in the Renault. He has actually fallen foul of the stewards from Baku. He has a 20-second penalty carrying on to this race. He reserved last time out in the Haas. He's now in a Renault this time. I said he got 20 seconds. One for qualifying and another for readying up on the grid. So he's got a lot of work to do here tonight if he wants to score any sort of points. But at the moment he's just doing a first impression, I guess. Although not a very good first impression if you get 2 penalties straight up. But there you go. Thank you, Patronus. I think what was it? Oh, as Rebster's gone off, has he got some damage? Yes, he does. On the front left. So where has he done that? Might have had a spin at turn 2. Turn 2 around this track, around Spain, has been very difficult for all the drivers, actually. It was even a trouble for the F1 division yesterday, so hopefully they'll be okay. Overcome just on a lap. I must give a massive shout out to Overcome actually for the last race. He was a minute and a half behind everybody else, like halfway throughout the race, and most people, not everyone, but most people would retire. He stayed out and continued driving around and managed to pick up 8th place. I mean, the amount of people that just retire so easily is ridiculous, and he just showed what can happen if you stick around. I mean, 8th place, which is 4 points, may not seem as much, but yeah, there you go. Just rewards, and he gets a praise from me, which, let me tell you, is quite rare. I don't normally praise people, but there you go. He's just trundling around. Most have retired at this point. Got 9 minutes to go. Most at this point should be relatively happy with their setup, but they're just going around getting the feel of the cars. Obviously next week, you guys including me, I better be in the groove because it's Monaco next, and obviously, as we all know, we must be in the frame of mind for that track. You need to have your eyes on stalks for that. So, but that is next week. We obviously got one more race to go in Spain. Tigosaurus has just gone, or did go second quite a while ago, and a 19.8 so far. So competitive at the front, which is good and quite close. As Primus goes on to 20.8. I don't think anybody's really that pushing. They don't need to. But yeah, we have still got quite a bit to go until the real meaty stuff of this qualifying session gets truly underway. For those of you that haven't seen it yet, we have a new website, or RSF1 have a new website, should I say. And that is Racing Series F1 .wixsite.com. As Tejosaurus has gone well into the 18s, he's not holding back. So first guy into the 18th is actually gone. Yeah, nearly 8/10 quicker than Alco, but I don't think that's anything to worry about at the moment. Everyone else I don't think is that pushing, as I said. He has, though, retired on track. I don't believe you can do that. As always, Blazer has... always a lucky boy. There. Spinning at turn 4. Can be very easily done. That corner does drag out wide. Very, very lucky. That would have been a very silly mistake considering everybody's already through. So, oh, and Rebster's done the same thing at turn 2. So already this track is proving troublesome for these guys. Might get a dramatic Grand Prix as we did last weekend. Or last week, should I say. But Webster doesn't need to set a time, but obviously he's just trying to get his way through. Out the way of the Red Bull. Oh, and straight across. Do not know what is going on here, Webster. Don't know what to say, to be honest. Just went straight on. Oh, and he's been disqualified. Oh, Shrimper mentioned it in the comments, and was he driving? He wasn't driving the wrong way. He was reversing. I don't know what to say about that. That's... I don't think he has Patronus, but that was really weird to see. I mean, he made a mistake at turn 2, was casually to go around turn 3, went across the track into the wall, and then... I don't know, there must have been something wrong, like pedals or something, or the wheel not functioning. But that's the complete opposite of Shrimper. Yeah, Shrimper, you were on the opposite, you were spinning around the wrong way, and you were actually driving the wrong way for a little bit. What Rebster did, that was just reversing. Yeah, so... Well, anyway, Rebster's not through to Q2. We're going to have 12 people in Q2. So, very weird situation, but 5 minutes to go anyway. Yeah, as I was saying, new website on the league. I believe it's racingseries.f1.wixsite.com. But don't 100% quote me on that. I might have got that a little bit wrong. Yeah, on that website it's newly refurbished. It's looking very slick at the moment. It's got very all the stats about all the drivers. Actually, it's got a very interesting stat of how many positions someone has gained on the first lap, which in this division is I believe Dirty Kelsey with 9 on the first lap that he did at one race. So plus how many positions you've gained on the first lap as well. Plus obviously race wins and fastest laps and pole positions. So yeah, that's nice. And obviously it's got the championship table as well. So yeah, it's all looking very good. And obviously you can see where all the drivers are, which will be updated very shortly. It'll be very quickly. But 4 minutes to go. I'm just stalling at this point because, as I said, Q2 is where we get into the interesting stuff. What else to talk about? Obviously, Real Life F1 obviously having their break with obviously that break until Belgium. I believe it's like a couple of weeks still until the Belgian Grand Prix goes. And obviously we've had that major news of Albon and swapping with Gasly at Red Bull. Ironically, we're on Porter Red Bull right now. Thank you, Porter. There you go. That's the website that Porter just put on the chat. So thank you very much. Yeah, it's an interesting situation at Red Bull. I feel Gasly. There's no offense to the guy. I feel like he has been struggling. I feel like a move needed to be done. I feel that they're too big of a team. It's like if, say, Bottas was struggling or Leclerc was struggling in the same sort of way. Ferrari and Mercedes would have done the same thing. They'd have at least done something. But swapping with Albon, I think personally, I would have, even though Kvyat has had his chance for me, I think he would have been a better choice of the two between him and Albon. Albon has not had really. Yeah, Shrimp was saying it should have been Kvyat. Yeah, if you were stuck between the two, Kvyat or Albon, then it would be Kvyat because he's had the experience, and that's what Red Bull need right now. They need experience and solid points week in, week out. They don't need somebody like what Gasly was doing, which was in the midfield battling McLarens and Renaults. They need to be challenging Mercedes and helping out Verstappen, who is getting the race wins and has a, well, very, very slim chance of a championship, but it's there. If he keeps on winning races, you never know. Yeah, Albon's a gamble for me. Albon is a gamble for me, and I hope it doesn't ruin Albon's career, because Albon could have finished the season. What will Red Bull do if Albon fluffs it? Well, they'll then look at their options at the end of the season, which more could open up. I mean, you could put anybody in that car alongside Verstappen. They just need somebody solid, somebody reliable, somebody that is maybe not going to be as quick as Verstappen, but near him maybe. So would say maybe put Ricciardo back in Red Bull, but he wouldn't go back there. Hulkenberg, I was thinking maybe Hulkenberg could have been possible. He's never had a top drive, Hulkenberg, and he's already been a solid point scoring driver, so maybe get Sainz back in, give him a chance at Red Bull, maybe. Yeah, we'll see what Albon does in that situation, but as I said, I hope Albon does well from the get-go. He's got to be maybe not right on it in Belgium, but he's got to get there quick. He's got to be right on there quick, and I hope he does well. Can you imagine, though, we get to Belgium and Albon gets either pole or wins? The story of that would be ridiculous, but we'll see what happens as we end the session of Q1. Dirty Kelsey in the Haas is just waiting in the pits, so clock ticks down. 3, a 2, and a 1. There we go. So now into Q2, and everybody but Rebster will be safely through. I do think there must have been. I don't think it must have been a problem with his wheel, because that did seem a little odd, sort of watching that. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll find out by the end of this evening. But we're going to have 12 people into Q2. It's going to put getting into Q3 a little less pressure to get into it. Maybe people will go for a very radical strategy, maybe on the hard tyres, be comfortable going through, potentially. Also, obviously, these guys that aren't usually into Q3 on a fuller lobby. Nah, Petronas, I talked to him before, he was fine. So I don't think he was. Wait, is he through? Rebster's name is still okay. Rebster's name is still there. We'll see if he goes out of the pits, but okay. I don't know. He didn't sound it, Petronas. That's all I'm going from. He didn't sound it, and I can normally tell if someone is, but right. Well, we're into Q2 now. Yeah, it's a bit weird. His name is still there, but here we go. Into Q2. Hard tyres for Primus, as we can see. Hard tyres for laser guns, and for Tomo as well. They're very confident with their pace. Be interested to see if anybody goes onto the soft tyres, because the strategy really here is the mediums for about 14 laps and then hards till the end. We can see what Primus does. First race back from his break. Be be wanting to get right on it is going to let Blazer Guns through, I believe. Yes, although Blazer's a little bit reluctant, seeing, okay, off he goes. Ah, fair enough. It's weird, he didn't sound it, but up to him, so. Right, let's ride aboard with Blazer Guns. Coming into the final sector. This might be a warm-up lap, actually. No, seems okay. Primus is actually in line for a little bit of slipstream behind him, actually. So that might benefit him. Let's see how Blazer Guns takes into turn 1. He's going to take the left-hand line. No, he's not. Goes in. He goes very deep into turn 1, actually. That's the medium tyres for you. They don't give you that bite straight up. It does take a couple of laps to sort of wear in or warm up a little bit. Oh, very wide over the grass. Very lucky there. You don't want to go over there too much or have your car spinning. We do actually have somebody on the soft tyres, and that's Ace End of McLaren, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. Well, the back end very sticking out for Blazer Guns. Obviously, he should be right on confidence, but turn 9 has gone very wide, and I think he's going to let Primus through. Yes, he does. So let's see. Let's see what Primus can do as he goes into the last sector. Right through turn 9. Turn 9 is very difficult. You've got to have a lot of confidence in the car and yourself to go flying through there. But let's see what Primus can set through the chicane now. Grips the apex and does that very nicely. Short shift up to 6. I don't think he meant to do that. There was a bit of a stutter there. It's 21.5. Decent time, I think. Blazer Guns are 28 flat. Let's see who can be next. Just settle that. Tigosaurus, invalid 23.8. So, a bit of time still here. What's Ace Air doing in his attempt on the soft tyres? Should really go fastest. And I think, yeah, it looks to be in the 20s. Yes, 20.4 for Ace Air. Let's see how that time sort of evens out. Good so far. Kelsey, 21.6 on mediums. Here comes Acer Facer, 20.9 on medium tyres. So, hard to say who's going to be the one to watch in Q3 at this point. As Tigosaurus, obviously, championship leader going into this race. It could very much change. Oh, he's had a mistake in turn 9. And so he's abandoned his lap as well. See what Rebs is doing. Return 4. Ooh. And yeah, I thought so. You do not want to be running that wide through turn 3, because it does invalidate your lap if you go into that green sort of AstroTurf. So he'll be going again. Right, here comes Tomo. He actually finished 4th in Q1. Very deep into the chicane. And he's also run out of VRS, which is going to cost him down to the line. It's going to be the 22s. Yeah, 22 flat. I think he'll need to go again on that. Rebster is just slowing down for that. Tigosaurus again had another. Right, saw he had another mistake. So right, on board with Timmer. See what he can do. Obviously, he should be riding with confidence coming into this race. Good, solid drive in 5th place. And the runner is actually in 5th place in the championship right now, so not that far off of the championship lead. And into the chicane, very fiddly chicane actually. I personally don't like it. I wish they went back to like the late 90s where they had the flat out right-hander there, but it's a 22-1 for Timmer. Remember, we're looking at the top 10. Only 2, or 3 actually, to be eliminated. So yeah, Rebster, despite being disqualified in the last session, which normally doesn't let you go through, it has allowed him to go through. So, okay. I mean, we have had an update since our last race, actually even last night. Although I don't know all the details of that. I believe it was just a safety rating, something to do with that. Something. Anyway, here comes BVB4 in the Williams. Of course, Williams had a good time last week with laser guns, driving them some good points. The Lot 4 can do, as Acer Phaser goes a 19.9 on the mediums. That's a very good time from him. And I think because of there only being 13, obviously less pressure for these guys to the top 10. As 4 now comes out of the final corner, be looking to get into the 20s, I would think. 20.8 on hard tyres. That's a pretty good lap time there from 4. That actually might get him through, potentially. Right, let's see who else there is. Rebster, 23.2 on mediums. Turn 1. He is struggling a little bit. Car doesn't look as stable as I guess it would normally be, as Orphan comes across the line to set a 22.3. Okay. As who's gone up to 4th? Gentle Resige in the Renner. He's gone 4th on medium tyres. So strategy's coming through at the moment. Digisaurus has got the Toro Rosso of Orphan, but Digisaurus is on an outlap. To 1 and 2 yellow flags at the moment, but so eliminated at the moment is Blazer Guns, Saints, and Digisaurus, but Digisaurus and the Saints Red Bull that we're looking at now have yet to set a time. As I think Timmer, I think has gone 7th. Yep, Timmer's gone 7th on the hard tyres, 21.6 for him. So it's a lap from him. It's very close to select that cutoff point for the sort of bottom end of the top 10 at the present time. But let's see how Alka Saints does his lap coming down into turn 1. I think we'll do a hot lap in Q3. Take you on board with that, but let's see how he takes this first sector. Had to ease off a little bit through turn 3. You do at some point need to do a sort of confidence lift. Oh, and again wide through turn 4. Takes a wide line. Might still work out for him, but right down into turn 5 hairpin. Put it into second gear to make him get the turn in. And through the uphill chicane. Again, the car doesn't seem to want to sort of turn in when he wants. Though he is on a wheel, I guess, so works for him. Now into the final sector, turn 10, the uphill hairpin. Very nice. From there. And then the ice rink, that is 11 and 12. 13. Long right hand, and then 14. And through into the chicane. Looking a decent lap so far. Might not challenge Acer Face at the front. No, it's going to be the 20s. It's 20.4. Just beats Acer. Acer did his on the soft, so probably half a second down on Acer Facer. So Facer looks very good. But here comes Digisaurus. He also looked good. And he goes again at 19.7. Beats Acer by 0.2 this time. As Tomo goes 6th on a 21.3. Sorry guys, just getting a message. Oh, Webster has retired. Has he crashed it, or was that a... no, that's a manual retirement from Webster. So unfortunately he's out of the session, so... Oh, as is Orphan. Is that a terminal damage as well? No, it's not. So Orphan and Webster are all out, so... Focus now is actually on this guy, Blazer Guns. Last time out winner. So... yeah, he's under a little bit of pressure, so... Primus is also out on another lap, or is on an out lap at the moment. Timmer, I think, needs to go again, otherwise he'll be under pressure. As Blazer Guns goes on a very cool out lap. Right, so see what Blazer Guns can do. So Timmer is on an out lap at the moment. Yeah, keep your comments coming in. Top notch. Get in Tomo, he's on the hards. Yep. Very good lap from Tomo. And himself in P6. Got the best tyres actually. Yeah, looking good actually. I think actually might be safe with that, but right, so let's run aboard the Blazer. Of course, as I said, won last time out, so he'll be looking to obviously continue that form. Does he have a full front wing? I thought he had a little bit of damage. There's a problem with the updated front wings. You can't really sort of tell unless you know where to look on where you damage, if you damage a car. As Alco is actually on the racing line in front of Blazer. That was not great from Alco at all. Alco's on a slowed down lap. Was right in front of Blazer. That's not going to help him at all. I think Blazer might be going to the stewards for that, because Alco was right in the racing line, but we'll see whether it does really affect him. He's right over the curb on the inside. I think he should be okay. Primus has gone third. That's got him safe as whoa, Blazer done it again, and he's lost it. Oh, and he's out. Huge crash. No. You got to slide on turn 9. Tried to save it. Thought he'd get away with it, but no, it just all goes ballistic. Blazer Guns is out. He will be starting from the back of the grids. And that, my friends, is how you can go from an all-time high, winning a race, to an all-time low at that point. He's probably not very happy about Alco saying it's right on the racing line, but even so, with that, he was on a decent lap. But made that mistake in turn 9, and boom. There we go. I still wouldn't count him out on 13th, fresh tyres and everything, so yes, not what he wanted to do. Which means Timmer is going to be through, as well as the others in the top 10. We go on to the best fitted tyres, so 4, Tomo and Timmer all went through on the hard tyres. So they'll be ones interesting to watch for the start of the Grand Prix. But alright, that's the end of the session. And we should be transitioning into the next session very shortly. Right, so there we go. So the ones eliminated from Q2, Overcome, Orphan, Rebster and Blazer Guns. As we saw, we were on board with that off, just on the exit of turn 9. So, but they will still be ones to watch from fresh tyres, especially Blazer guns. You know, we should still have the confidence despite that crash, that result from last week. So they'll be ones to watch. But Tigosaurus, Acer, all looking good for, and Tomo also could be up there, but this all depends on the Q3 getting the soft tyres to work and nailing the lap, because it's very easy to do it in Q1 and 2, but when you've got the nerves of Q3, it can be very different. So see how we go. Who is going to be the first out? We have 18 viewers here tonight. Thank you very much for watching. This race, hopefully we should have the entertainment to provide. But I noticed the chat has gone very quiet since that crash. It's all as shocked as me to see that. I should have put it on the broadcast cam. It would have been interesting to see it from afar. So who's going to be first? Is that so Williams of 4 is going to be the first driver out on its soft tyres, and I think it's the Haas of Kelsey behind him. Yep, those are going to be the first two. Then it's the Red Bull. Look at them all coming out in the train. Red Bull of Alco, then the two McLarens line astern. So yeah, 4 getting the jump on everybody there out of the pits. He's going to be one of the first drivers to set the lap time. Prediction, guys, anybody who's going to be on pole position for this? It's going to be a different one from last week, because I believe Blazer Guns took the pole. We have had Primus on pole before in the previous race. We've also had Tigosaurus on pole as well. So yeah, all should be good. I think the ones that need to qualify well here are obviously the ones on the hard tyres. So that's Timmer, 4, and Tomo. So let's see how everyone can do. We're going to ride on board with Alco here for this outlap as we go through the final sector now. As I said, this point here, for me, the car should be just turning left and just getting that long right-hander, especially the downforce of these. But he's got to get a good exit out of the final chicane, and then through the final corner, straight up into hot lap mode, which is what you need to do. Opening up the DRS and down into turn 1. Should he be hitting around about 200, 205 miles an hour maybe, and he just about hits that as he hits into the braking zone of turn 1. And then turn 2, mind the curb on the exit, gives it a very wide berth. Now through turn 3, bit of a lift up, but you need that if you get the entry as he did. It's a 22.1 first sector. Very good through turn 4, take a wide line, but obviously not too wide, you got the grass on the left. Then through the turn 5, hairpin, hug the apex, but not too wide on the outside because that will validate your lap. Turn 6 is just that flat out left hander. 7 and 8 is the uphill chicane, the back end will stick out a little bit. Then turn 9, cancer corner, where Kimi Räikkönen, Kovalainen had that crash in 2008, but just went straight on. But Saints is straight down into turn 10, hits the bollard, that shouldn't affect it too much. Turn 10 and 11, same as 7 and 8, is uphill chicane, can be very like an ice rink on the left hand side, but should be okay. Turn 12 and 13 through there, but he's gone very deep into the final chicane. It's kind of hooked it up okay on the exit. That will cost him a little bit more time, and he sets a 19.7, 2/10 quicker than 4, who set the early pace. There's a bit of time there. There was a few mistakes from Alco, so he'll be looking to improve maybe perhaps a little bit. Acer has made a mistake on his lap, as has Acer. Timmer has gone 3rd in the Renault. Good lap from him. 2/10 behind 4. Tigosaurus without a slipstream gets an 18.9 for Tigosaurus. There you go. That is the benchmark that he has set. He got a very nice slipstream from Tomo, actually, who was starting his lap. Very good there from Tigosaurus. Championship leader once again, laying down the the marker there, Resiege and Timmer, both Renaults actually, paving the way for Tomo in the Ferrari. As I said, Tomo needs to qualify well. He's on the hard tyres. He's got to get a good grid position. I reckon he should be aiming for top 3 here. They're all paving the way for the King. Ace there off the track as well as he goes through turn 9. But down onto the back straight, down into turn 10. It's the turning quite nicely. Up through the chicane, gives the wide end. Oh, you can see the Ferrari slide a little bit. Again, he wasn't very good on his ERS management through the Q1 lap that I saw. I think he's going to be running out again, and like Saints, goes very deep with the opening of the chicane. Might not have cost him a little bit, but he's definitely costing a bit of time with the run out of ERS. It's a 19.5, goes second actually. But like Saints there's more time in Tono's lap, especially that last chicane, and if he nails that ERS, you cannot put it in hot lap for the whole lap. You do have to reserve a little bit around here. It's one of those tracks you need to. But yeah, Tomo, decent lap for the time being. But there is some time now, pretty sure there is. Kelsey is a 10th down on his lap. Is he going to go round with that in the pits? That's in the pits. This is fine. Right, Primus. There we go. 22.7 first sector. It's a little bit off of what his teammate did, Alco. We're looking for a solid qualifying here as he goes out of turn 5, turn 6, and then turn 7 and 8. Here we go. Bit more controlled actually, but need to fly the car through turn 9. It's okay, 52.5 middle sector. Rumbles over the curbs a little bit. Got to be careful through this chicane. He actually went over the curbs. Very brave, but worked for him. Into the final chicane. He's going to make the same mistake as we've been riding on board. No, gets the turn in nicely. Very nice through the chicane. A little bit wild in the exit, but should be okay. And he's going to cross the line. It's going to be in the 19s. It's a 19.8. Goes within a tenth of his teammate. In 4th place. Yes, all very good so far. Right, so Ace are facing now. I think for me personally, and one of the contenders that could challenge Tidosaurus for pole here. If you had to push me for an answer on who my prediction is, that'll be my top 3. But it's all about nailing the lap. To Ace are facing. Let's see his second sector compared. It's 52.0, which was I think it's half a second up on Primus. Let me quickly check. On 29.6 compared to a 29.8. It's a couple of tenths down on Digisaurus, but let's see how he does through the final sector. So he nails that chicane, absolutely smooth through there. So this might be a very good lap. I don't think he's going to challenge Digisaurus, no, but he goes second. All about nailing that last sector, which he did, and he goes on the front row. Oh, and Primus straight in the pit lane wall. He is extremely lucky. He's still manoeuvring. As Alco now, he's a 10th up in the middle sector on this lap, but he's used a lot of VRS. Now this must be an in lap, surely. Yeah, this must be an in lap, but he was a 10th up in that middle sector, so. Well, no, actually, he is going on for another lap, but he's run out of VRS way before the line. But it still might work for him. 19.3. So yeah, there we go. Alco Saints goes third. Problem is with Alco, he's left that very late at the end of the session. I don't think he's got enough time to go back in. Tomo is starting a lap. And is that the same set of tyres? No, that's new tyres. He's just gone straight out with 2.5 minutes ago. So let's see how he takes this first and second corner. Quite nice. Swings the car in. Actually got a very good entry into turn 3. You can carry a little bit more speed. So he goes into first sector. About 900s down. Despite, I thought it looked pretty good, but maybe it was like this what he did originally. See how he does through the middle sector. There's a Red Bull in front, should be out of the way. Yes, that's Alco. Snap from Tomo again, but again he's keeping it in hot lap, which is draining that ERS down. But let's see how he does middle sector. And it's, oh, he's a tenth, almost 2 tenths down, so I don't think this is going to improve unless he nails that final chicane. Oh, but he's over the curb a little bit. He's going to nail this last chicane really to improve, but again that ERS is going to run out before the line. Let's see what he does. Into the final chicane, gets it a little bit better this time. So this could be an improvement. It is. It's a 19.3. He just stays in 4th. That might consolidate 4th place for him. Right, so Rashid yet to set a time. Where is he? He's about starting a lap. He's giving a little bit of slipstream to Alka behind. Acer Facers in the pits, and that is his qualifying done. So second place at best for him. Let's see what Alco does. Alco pretty much nails the first sector on his opening run. Acer's also in the pits, and the McLarens are finished for this. We're looking at Primus and 4 potentially going up the field, but let's see what Alco could do. Very wide entrance into that turn, but it might be working out for him. He's going through turn 9. Eases off twice through that turn, but it made him go through that corner, so into the second sector. Again, it's 10th and a bit down, but it's this final chicane in the last sector which he needs to nail. That's where he can get the most time. He can get at least 2 tenths, I feel. I feel at the moment, unless somebody surprises me, I think Tigosaurus has got this pole position. But much better through the chicane from Alco. This might get him onto the front row. In fact, this should. And he sets a 19.4. Actually doesn't improve. Despite that a much better chicane, he's not done it. So yeah, he's out as well. Primus, no, he's made a mistake on his lap. So where is Tigosaurus at the moment? He is coming to the end of the middle sector. He's 2 100ths up on his own pole lap. Only 4 and Timmer could challenge him. Where is 4? 4 is just coming to the end of the middle sector. Let's see what he can do. Timmer is coming to the end of the line. Goes 6th for Timmer. And 4 is 2 tenths up actually. So 4 could actually, how close it is, could get to 5th. As I think Tigosaurus got this. Yes, he crosses the line. Does not improve anyway. But he, unless 4 can find like 8 tenths in this last sector, I think it's his. And he's gone very deep in the chicane. Wide over the curb as well. Might have lost the advantage he's got, but this could be an improvement. I think he did by 1 position. Yes, he goes 7th. But Tigosaurus, the only driver into the 18s, secures his 2nd pole position of the season. 3 tenths in the end over Acer Facer and Alco Saints, with Tomo just behind in 4th place. Acer, the 2 Irish boys, Acer and Timmer 5th and 6th. BVB 4 in the Williams for 7th. Primus in 8th in the Rebel, with Rasiege in 9th and Kelsey rounding out that top 10. So, Tigosaurus in the end, getting his run or pole position on the first lap. So, Tomo, yeah, pretty good qualifying from you. I said you needed to get a good position from the hard tyres, but you need to keep with the leaders. That is the advice I shall give you. But let's see what these guys can do. It's slightly overcast. Very cloudy, actually. Okay. Tomo, is there any rain? Because that is very dark. Well, a lot darker than what it was in qualifying, so might have some mixed conditions. But there's the guys on the hard tyres. They've actually qualified pretty decently. They're Tomo in 4th, Timmer in 6th, and 4 in 7th. So let's see how they can do. If there is rain, late on in this race, that could be massive for them. But then again, if there was rain, would there be more people on the hard tyres? Tough to say whether that is the case, but shall see. Not been told otherwise, so I do not know. But it definitely looks very cloudy and overcast for me. But let's see what 13 drivers can give us tonight. Hopefully there'll be some good battles. Hopefully there's going to be a clean race. Turn 1 and 2, obviously on the very first lap, very, very treacherous. Very long run down to turn 1. Other than Mexico, this is the longest run down to turn 1. Of course, other than Mexico. I think a couple of others, but it's one of the longest. Very different to, say, Baku last week, and definitely next week, Monaco. Monaco, you have like 2 seconds before you're at turn 1, but this, you got plenty of time, almost too much time, to think what line you can take into turn 1 and when you're going to brake. Also, if you have too much time, you can often second guess where you're going to turn, when you're going to brake, where to put your car. But let's see. Hopefully we can have a good race tonight. Obviously, the next race is actually going to be tomorrow night for the F3 division. Master Krog and Rebster, I believe, will be in the box for that, unless I'm mistaken. Might be Primus in tomorrow, potentially, or was he another division? But no, that's going to be F3 tomorrow. And then the first Monaco race will be actually my division, F2, on this Sunday, 8 o'clock. Yes, everybody's prepared for Monaco, I think. Well, I'm not prepared yet. I haven't done any practice, but I mean, practice makes perfect around there, but you could still make the result. But let's see what we can get tonight. Any predictions from you guys in the chat? We've still got 16 viewers, which is a good following. So thank you once again. As Rebster readies up, the lobby host. Interestingly, unless they change before they go into formation, now Olfen at the moment is the only one outside the top 10 starting on hards, and obviously those will be fresh hard tyres, so they may be beneficial for him if he can keep them clean on the very first lap. We go silent. There we go. So on we go for the formation lap on a very definite overcast Spain. No talk of rain yet, or haven't been messaged that yet, but let's go for the grid. Digisaurus on pole position in the Alfa Romeo, the sole Alfa Romeo, with a massive chance to extend his championship lead now that he gained, or received, shall I say, from last week's result in Baku. Acer Facer in the McLaren, another championship contender, does want to allow Digisaurus to sort of edge away. He's starting alongside him on the front row. Alcasaint starts third in the Red Bull. And then we've got Hell King Tomo, the first driver on the hard tyres. Obviously he would want to keep with the leaders as much as possible until they start to wear. It'll be about lap 14 and then see how he does. Then we have Ace Air fifth in the other McLaren. McLaren have done well today so far, but that's just qualifying. This will be the race coming up. Timmer is sixth in the Renault. He's next on the hard tyres, as his four behind him on the Williams. Same as Tomo, got to keep with the leaders and see what they do. Primus in eighth. Hopefully he can have a good result tonight, the returning from a couple of weeks. Gentle Siege, he's got to keep it clean this week. 20 seconds, remember, he carries on to this race from Baku, so hopefully he can have a clean race. He'll start ninth with Kelsey in 10th. And then the guys outside the top 10, we have Orphan in 11th, Rebster in 12th, and Blazer Guns, last time's winner, starts from 13th in the Williams. So let's get back up to the front. Digisaurus slowed everybody down. as we get prepared for 33 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. Definitely very, very cloudy. It's the darkest I've actually seen a race this week. So it'd be interesting to see. So they all line up. Last person is going to be Blazer in 13th. What can he do from the back of the grid? And here we go. 5 red lights for round number 5 of the season. And Blazergun's already got a jump start. And oh, that's not a great start from him as we go down into turn 1. It's a good start from Tigosaurus. He's going to keep the lead from Acer. Thomas looking up on the inside of Alka, but Alka's going to go right on the outside of Acer, and he's actually taken second place away as Thomas been shuffled out by the Renault of Prestige. And he's down into the midfield. He hadn't had a good start. It's actually alongside 4 there, and 4's been attacked by the Renault and Rebster, who's had a great start. He's up into 8, challenging. Oh, and he's gone wide. Oh, and he's on the grass. Oh, and he's lost it already. Rebster on the first lap. Recover, found himself wide at turn 4. And a safety car. Okay. Why? Because Rebster spun? And there's debris? Okay. Well, Rebster's got a damaged front wing, but we have a safety car, guys. What is it about Tier 4? We had a safety car last week, and that was surprising. And then, this is even more. There's no retirees. It's just Rebster spinning. Normally, Codemasters. Normally, the game is just like, nah, it's fine. Right. So this interesting. I don't think anybody's going to pit. I'd be very surprised if they do. But okay, then let's take a breather. Safety car again for these guys. So Tigosaurus kept the lead. A good start from him. But Alco managed to get past Acer. On right around the outside of turn 1. Very good move. Acer in the other McLaren stays in 4th place. Gentle Recedes had a... where did he start? Yeah, he's had a very good start actually. From 9th up to 5th. Where is the safety car actually? There it is. They just caught it up. Yeah, so Gentle Recede, very good start from him in the Renault. Tomo actually had a decent start, I think. He's still kept just about in front of 4, who's on the same tyres, remember. Get back to the tyres again. These guys have got to be careful, remember. There were a couple of drivers last week on the safety car had connected, and obviously you get a drive-through penalty if you do under safety car, so you've got to be very careful. And yes, Paul got very close. That Recede has dropped. Recede has dropped down. I missed that. Has he spun? Is he allowed to get back through? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what's going on with Recede at the moment. It's a little bit chaotic, but he's back into 5th. I wasn't sure he was allowed to do that. Oh, Blazerguns. Oh, he's had a start as well. He's got no front wing on the left-hand side, and he's had a connection with Kelsey, so he's got another 5-second penalty, plus the jump start. There's rough races, and then there's rough races, guys. Jesus. Right, so Rebster has pitted. Changed his front wing, so he should latch onto the back. But again, these guys, they've got to give him space. 3 drivers in. Blazer, obviously, he had the damage. Kelsey as well, as is Primus. I think there's been some coming together because I know Primus has actually got on medium tyres. He's getting those mediums out the way. Kelsey didn't have damage either. It was only Blazer, so change of strategy from the other 2. There goes Blazer. He had to wait because of his drive-through, then change front wing. That actually could be okay for him because he's got his penalty out the way. He can now get back on a fresh slate now. So, right, so who's pitted? So Rebster's pitted. But they pitted very early. They cannot go to the end no matter what on this. They are struggling at the moment to keep in the same order, has to be said. I don't want to sort of bring them down, but there's a lot of people changing positions under safety car. It was not meant to do that, so... Right. So this is all going to be down to the restart, what Tyrannosaurus does. It's very close to the safety car in front, actually. Not be that close. Yeah, Shrimper, you went to do it at the wrong time, my friend. As safety car is in this lap. Okay. Yeah, Shrimper, safety car came out because Rebs spun at turn 4. And there was front wing damage on the track. Basically. That's the only reason I can fathom out. Now, Digisaurus is going to be... He can control the pace, but obviously he can't do anything stupid. He's doing a lot of... But Alka-Saint is just going to wait and wait until Digisaurus goes. Digisaurus is going to really back him up because the safety car is still there. Can't go yet. Now he can. Is he going to go now? He's waiting. He's waiting, and there he goes. And that called out Alco a little bit behind, but we're back under racing once again. Tomo is through. Racine out of massive as he spun. Racine has spun. And Racine has had a collision with 4. And Rebs is out. Rebs is, oh, it's a horrible, horrible stuff. Orphans ran the wrong way. What's happened there? But Rebster's out. Racine was spun, and Orphan is trying to sort of maneuver his way back round. Yellow flags once again. Safety car again. But, oh, Orphan. Goodness me. But Tyrannosaurus has kept the lead. And, actually, a decent restart from Tyrannosaurus there. Ahead of Valco and the 2 McLarens. So, ready once again. I have to say, they're really struggling to get the sort of grip here. Maybe the clouds are affecting them. It's obviously overcast here. It's very cold, potentially. It's going to get into the rhythm now. So Tyrannosaurus leads from Alco. Then we've got 2 McLarens, Acer and Acer. Not confusing at all as yellow flags in sector 2. I think it was just Orphan going round, but here we go. Second lap of proper racing now. And we get some overtakes. Actually, Alco right on the back of Tyrannosaurus, who goes to the right. He can do that once. As Blazer Guns is in the pits. I think that's his drive-through. I think. Where's Blazer Guns? Yes, that's his drive-through. As Primus is in as well. More damage from Primus, or something going on. So Blaze has got his drive-through out of the way now. I've already done that. Or maybe it's that. Maybe you can't serve a drive-through, but he had a 5-second penalty and they served that. Yeah, it must be. So, Tyrannosaurus leads, going through turn 9. Bit of a gap forming between every car at the moment. No solid rough battle at the moment, but Alco is waiting for DRS, just keeping with Tyrannosaurus, or at least trying to. Yeah, hovering around about a second. 4 might actually be on the back of Tomo here. Just waiting now, ready for kind of over second. Who's pitted? Who's the highest pitted? Kelsey, but no real advantage, to be honest, despite that safety car. Tyrannosaurus sets the fastest lap of the race, 23.3. And 4 in the end, not close enough for Tomo to make the move. Right, back to the front, I think. And Acer spun it at turn 2. Oh, and he spun it back round right in front of Orphan, who's a lap down now. But Acer spun it at the venomous turn 2. So he's dropped down. He's now out of this battle for the top 4. And I think Acer and Kelsey We're going side by side. Yeah, here they are. Kelsey just going right by the outside and straight in front of Acer. That was a little bit risky from him. But Acer has dropped now to 8th place with that spin. Luckily, no damage. But that's how turn 2 is. Now Alco is dropping a little bit from Tigosaurus, and Acer Facer in the McLaren is now putting him under a bit of pressure. 4 as well. Look at 4. Right behind Tomo. Yeah, this is the battle of the hard tyres. You got Kelsey 7 seconds behind as a tank slapper from 4. Couldn't get the power down. In fact, these guys are really struggling on the hard tyres to get them sort of there, as Timmer now is going to put 4 under pressure. And 4, yeah, he's got a horrible one at the last corner. This could be a lunge from Timmer. Look at the speed from Timmer. Goodness me, up on the inside. No. And 4 way over the curb as well, but okay. Oof. Oh, and Ace has had another off at the last corner. Ace is struggling. He's down into 10th. He had damage. I think he does now. I think so. Have a look. Yeah. Oh, no, he's alright. He's alright. So he's had another spin. But very rough race so far. People struggling with grip. It's as if it's damp. I don't think it is. It's just, as I said, it's cold. And these hard tyres really struggling for grip. They can't seem to get a rhythm in them. Back to the leaders once again. Ace of Face is going to have DRS on the back of Alco if he can get this chicane nailed. Digisaurus has just broken the DRS on Alco, so Alco might be a little bit vulnerable. And Acer got a really good run at the last corner actually, so might, if he's got the setup, he's in overtake at the moment, he's got enough DRS to use. It's not going to be close enough. Down into turn 1, so keeps in 3rd for now. Yeah, Digisaurus is there, not pulling away as such, so Alco still keeping in touch. They have now a 7.5 second lead to Tomo, who I think is now in like a separate group here. He's got the front 3, then the next 4. Kelsey there, and Blazer Guns, who's trying to recover, get some decent points out of a rough night already. Yeah, interesting stuff so far. Only on lap 8. Still quite a way to go. Clouds are still there at the moment, so I think it's just cloudy. I don't think there's going to be any rain, but that could change at any second as Primus sets the fastest lap of the race on medium tyres now. As Recede is in the pits. Primus might be getting into that 10th. No, Recede stays in 10th. And Acer again. Yellow flags were set to 1. Has Recede gone off? Yes, he has. Straight out the pits and straight spinning through turn 2. Acer not close enough for Alco, and Alco's now putting Digisaurus under a little bit of pressure. Got that gap within a second. Yeah, the cars seem to be not on ice, but struggling to sort of keep on the rails here as Acer's in the pits again. Well, no, that'd be as the first time, but he probably has damage again. Him. A little bit of mistake from Malco's actually. Now, Tigosaurus has got a 1.5 second lead, so the gap keeps ebbing and flowing. Seeing us through this last sector, at the beginning of the last sector and then through it, it seems that Ace of Faces seems to have the edge on Alco, but it's all up to the last corner where Alco seems to get the good run. As Blazer Guns is out. Where is that? Not on board of Ace, so we can catch up to him. But Blazer Guns, that's been a rough night. Jump start, penalty, Hit it several times. I think it has spin as well. It's an 8. And, whoa, that's outside turn 7 and 8. Which, yeah, you can do, but... what a difference a week can make. As a Resiege is just letting the leaders go through now. But there you go, all Resiege, not making it easy there for Alco. Right on the curves. I suppose that was the only place he could go at the time. Leaders are safely through regardless. So Asa recovers. As Tigosaurus, I think, had a massive slide. He did. And now Alco's back on him. Just had a massive slide up of 7 and 8. So now all of a sudden, this is a three-way fight. So all it takes, a slight mistake, and once again, Tigosaurus is in the clutches of Alco. So Alco can now focus on Tigosaurus in front. It's more yellow flags. I think it's Resiege letting the others go through over the curves from Alco, but it seemed to work for him. I think he would get a good mistake, and Tigosaurus looked to be a little bit rattled after that mistake. Can Alco, does he have the speed down the front straight? I think he might have a go into turn 1. He's going to go for a lunge. Yes, he is. He's having a look. Tigosaurus goes in the room. Oh, it's over the curves and he's spun it. No. Honest damage as well. No, Alco. Oh. That is such a shame from Alco. I wouldn't have said it was optimistic. There was room there. But it looked a bit rushed. Up on the inside, and he clipped the curb on the inside, and now Tomo all of a sudden looks to be trying to snap that podium, and he can see the gap. Alco giving in the room. Alco does have damage, so Tomo's just got to be... Alco's now sitting duck. And all of a sudden, our trio for the lead is now down to 2. You can see how much Alco has to ease off, but the problem with Tomo is now that brings 4 and Timmer into this battle here. But Alco will be heading into the pits, I would assume, at the end of this lap. And I think he can actually, if he's very careful, can take hard tyres to the end, so it might not be the end for Alco. This battle now becomes effectively the podium. They're 10 seconds off the lead, but this is now for a podium as Alco does go into the pits. So let's see what Timmer's going to be right behind 4, but 4's got DRS in the back of Tomo. As Alco's speeding in the pit lane as well, that's not going to help him. But here comes 4. Tomo actually had DRS from Alco, so that helped out Tomo. And this is now 3rd, 4th and 5th. All of a sudden this battle has, well, had meaning already. They'll fight tooth and nail, but this has even more meaning. Final step on the podium as it currently stands. Right, so Tigosaurus now has 1.3 second lead over Asa in the McLaren. Kelsey at the moment is in 6th. And Alco's come out in 7th place. As I said, he can take those halves to the end, but he's got to be extremely careful. Be very careful on those tyres. Asa in 8th, Promise in 9th, Gentle Resiege in 10th. And Orphan, like Baku, he's sticking around in 11th. He's a minute behind Resiege. But you can still add a point if there. Now, Tigosaurus going for the undercut, actually, over his rival Asa. So, should be going onto the hard tyres to the end. Indeed he does. 4, again, not close enough this time to Tomo, even though Tomo didn't have DRS. This battle now there. Tigosaurus doesn't have much of a gap behind those 3, so you might be catching him towards the end of this stint, which might hamper him a little bit, but Tomo moves into 2nd, 4th, 3rd, Timmer 4th. And apart from that, no close battles at the time being. 13. We might see this race calm down just that little bit. Would be interesting for rain. Might close up the field a little bit if there is rain on the way, but I don't think there is. It's just really cloudy. And then again, these guys, sorry for grip, Tomo is now gapped 4. Tomo can see this potential podium, and he wants it. Pushing away from these two as S01 is now in the pits for his one and only stop. This should be a simple one stop for him. I think Tigosaurus is more than comfortable, should regain the lead. And he does, but S01 is not that far behind, so there might be a battle for this lead here towards the end. Yes, Blazer Guns in the chat, not very happy at all. Remember, keep it civil. But yeah, unfortunate race for yourself there. But obviously you'll be back in Monaco, so hopefully you do. But yeah, remember to keep it civil. But we can with this, and Timmer latched onto the back of 4 now, as Tomo now leads the race. And these guys got to go to about lap 20 on these tyres, and then go softs. Now drop behind Kelsey initially, but obviously Kelsey will need a bit again, I reckon. Most definitely, actually. He's on an 11 lap hold. Hards will need a bit again. This again is going to be the battle for 3rd place. Timmer getting the run out the last corner, getting the slipstream onto 4. Middle of the road defence from 4. Tigosaurus sets the fastest after the race behind them. Timmer again. Straight line speed, just staying in front, all very late on the brakes. Into turn 1, but just keeps it out the back of that Williams. And Tigosaurus is going to be on the back of these guys soon. Within 2 seconds, there he is. Doesn't need to overtake these 3, but he must know that S01 is there. He's 3.5 seconds back. So he's not out of the question if Tigosaurus makes a mistake. Tigosaurus is now on the back of 4, or Timmer, sorry. And we want to be overtaking these guys. We don't want to get involved too much, as Timmer makes a big mistake in turn 1 and 2. Here's Tigosaurus going to look a move on turn 4. He doesn't need to, but also sort of pass but not get too involved. It has a look. Timmer did give him the room. This is, oh, don't. That was always going to close. This is a bit awkward from Tigosaurus, and Timmer's just running his race at the moment. But all this time, Asa is now closing in with this gap because Saurus can't find a way through. Behind with the gearbox through turn 9. Now surely this can make a move through turn 10 again. Timmer under very much pressure. And this should be a move now. The inside camera not working with me, but there he goes. He's fine as Timmer struggling with the traction there. Tigosaurus eventually through. Not helped Timmer with this battle, but should be back on to 4 soon. But Asa in all that has caught a little bit on Tigosaurus for the lead of the race. The net lead of the race, shall we say, when these guys pit. Oh, and Tigesaurus made a mistake through turn 2. Massive tank slapper. Going through turn 3, but he should just manage to keep hold of it. Oh, that was a very lucky break from Tigesaurus. Massive tank slapper through turn 2 into the entrance of turn 3. It was on the grass as well. Just about manages to keep hold of it. Very lucky play, but Asa was definitely in this, but Asa would want to be clearing Timmer as soon as possible now. Because these guys on the hard tyres probably still have another 4 laps to go. So Asa is going to have DRS on the Macca Timmer, I think, coming into this straight. As Tigesaurus is now getting onto the back of Ford and Williams. Timmer had a very good exit actually from the last corner, so this would be a tough move for Asa. Not be close enough into turn 1 actually. Is Tigesaurus close into turn 1 and 4? No, he's not. So, and all this battling is helping out. Oh no, Tigesaurus is gone! Tigesaurus has spun it! No! Oh, it's that turn 2. Oh. And the race turns on its head. Once again. Oh. Does he have damage? Yes, he does. And that is actually going to put him under massive pressure for a second, actually. This is going to move Tomer into second, I think. With 4 potentially into third. Oh, you got to feel for them as Recede is out. He was running in 10th, so Orphan's actually going to move to 10th place. So, but we saw a lap ago, Tigesaurus had a massive mistake at turn 2, and there is the car of Recede. He's on the exit at turn 9. Oh, goodness me. This championship takes another twist. As Tomo now into the pits, as his 4, as his Tim. No, 4 and. I know 4 stays out. Timmer and Tomo pit. So Asa, this is now a. Well, all he's got to do is just keep it calm, I think. Really, lap 19, 14 laps to go. This is a massive opportunity for him. Oh, Saurus has sped in the pit lane as well. This goes from bad to worse for him. Tomo has rejoined in 5th place on the faster tyre ahead of him of Kelsey, who's on 16 lap hard tyres, and Tomo's looking immediately to overtake him as soon as possible. Then you got Alco. Alco is still in this race, but his tyres are going to go another 14 laps, which would be hard pushed, not impossible. It would be hard pushed, but Tomo surely be the man here to capitalise. He's on the best strategy at the moment, faster rubber. Got to overtake Kelsey as soon as possible here. He'll be looking on the outside through turn 10. And Kelsey stays right on the inside there, but Tomo is through. And 4 is now in the pits. He's in a battle with Timmer for a potential 3rd place at this point. Ace is now in the lead, and he's going to have a very healthy gap to any challenger next to him. See how he does. I'm not saying anything yet. Anything can happen, of course. So Alco's going to move into 2nd, with Tomo into 3rd. 4. Where's he going to come out in relation to all this? Side by side with Kelsey, but just behind him. Again, he's on the faster tyre. He's 3 seconds ahead of Timmer. Oh no, he's connected with Kelsey. No. No. Oh, goodness me. Kelsey's got a... Oh, that's a mess. Oh, and Asa spun it in return 2 as well. Chaotic race, and Tigesaurus at the end of it is into 5th place. My head hurts. My head hurts. Oh, that is such a shame for 4. He was on for a good haul of points there, but Kelsey just had a mistake all by himself for turn 2. That deadly turn 2. And 4 just behind had nowhere to go. 4 is out. Kelsey is still running. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This race is just... Wow, Tomo, that was a huge cut in the last chicane. Goodness me. Right, so Tomo sets the fastest lap of the race on the fastest tyre, of course. Or faster tyre than everybody else, so... he'll be looking to have a go at Alco for this second place. Tim is now into 4th. So Tigosaurus, despite that spin, still in 5th place. Ace Air in 6th. Kelsey has no front wing as Tigosaurus sets the fastest lap of the race. Primus in 8th. Orphan's going to move up to 9th in all this. Same as last week. I have no idea, Patronus. No idea what's going on. Drama. Very, very interesting drama is what it's providing. Not many battles, but you can never predict a race in this division, I think, judging by last week and then moving on to this. There we go. But Ace Facer now has a 15-second lead, or 14.5 actually, over this battling duo, and surely Tomo has the advantage here. Got to get a good run at the last chicane, but Elka always has that good run there at the last corner. But again, Tomo has the DRS now. Not be close enough for turn 1 actually. In fact, look at Tomo's DRS. He's actually run out. He's actually run out of everything, and Kelsey got out, and a little bit interesting. I know Acer can cruise, but he's lost a lot of time to Alco on this lap. Doesn't have any damage, so I keep an eye on it, but that gap has gone down a little bit for Acer. I mean, he can cruise. He can drop off a second a lap, but still be alright. This is the closest battle by an absolute country mile at the moment. Tomo on the back of Alco, but you can see Alco's got plenty enough of ERS. So look at Tomo, he's got to start saving surely. Don't know what's going on. He's just stuck in hot lap mode. He did it in qualifying as well, but he's got to start saving. Come on, Tomo. There we go, he's in. Yeah, he's into number 1 ERS. You can save ERS. You don't have to go full pelt with Alco now. You've got the time and the advantage, so keeping in track limits though. 23.6. In terms of penalties actually, let's have a look at this. Acer has nothing. Alco has a penalty. Tomo has one warning. Yeah, so actually, with Alco's penalty, Tomo actually doesn't need to do anything, because we've been 3 seconds, but he still wants to have a go, though. He wants it for pride. Or maybe he doesn't even know that Alco has a penalty. Still these two. He saved a little bit of VRS Tomo, which is good, is what he needs to do. And when he start running out, he has the advantage, he has the grip and the pace over Alco this present moment. It's just by this time. Whoa! What was that? I had no idea. Kelsey just come out of nowhere, I couldn't even react. That was interesting. As Orphan, well done, letting the leaders go through. Still in 9th place, picking up 2 points, it's brilliant. Sticking it round. Don't know what that was from Kelsey, that was weird. Really weird. gonna fire through sector 1. See, I don't want to say that Ace of Face has got this race. I mean, I've said it now, but still there. Now, Alco, again, at some point, running very wide. He's got to be very careful. Alco can go to the end on this. He can still have the tyres to get to the end, but Tomo, I say he's got plenty of time, but he's got to wait. So he's going to wait. Ace heads into the pits for soft tyres, potentially going for a fastest lap attempt. How he gets on with that. Yeah. Interesting thought. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, F01 said it there. That was very unlucky for that situation. I don't think there was any malice from Kelsey there. But he had his own mistake and his fall had nowhere to go. Tomo say DRS a little bit. It's given Alco a little bit of a gap, a little breathing space so he can look after his tyres a little bit more. Tomo here, he has the potential to get second. Does he want this, or is he just focusing on keeping third? He's within 3 seconds, so he's got second anyway at this point. Timo in 4th place. Primus has moved up to 6th, but Ace is now on soft tyres, so Ace will be catching Primus. And the flags are set to 2. What's going on? Nothing, all good. That was a really weird moment. I should have had it on broadcast camera actually. Would have seen why Kelsey went straight across the road like that. Must have made a mistake somewhere or just mistimed his braking, and the only thing he could do is just go on the grass. Yeah, almost Monaco. Big slide from Tomo. He's really pushing to try and keep up with Alco. Alco's now extended the gap. He's got to be careful, Tomo, if he still wants second. But be careful with Timmer as well. Timmer is there to pick up anything. 4.5 seconds back. Oh, Kelsey. Ooh, that was a bit risky there from Kelsey, just slamming on the brakes on the racing line. Well, Timber got through, but a bit of a heart mouse stuff. Yeah, Tomo is now starting to lose touch with Alco. Right, so just looking at the implications for the championship. I'm just going to refer back to the table for a second. See what this potentially does with 7 laps remaining, and anything can still obviously happen from now to the end. Let's have a look. Tomo still there, but not sort of close enough to have a definite move. Let's see, Tegosaurus with 10 points, gone 61. Ace of Facer with the win will go on to 63, so would actually take the lead of the championship as it stands. With Ace of Facer by 2 points over Tegosaurus. McCracken would remain, or go to third because he missed out. If Thomas stays in third place, he would go up massively, up to around about the top 10, I think, in the championship. Timmer would move on to 38 points, so he would be right up there in the top 5. In fact, also 8 points from Primus would keep him in the running, despite I wouldn't have said a lackluster, but he's just kept his nose out of trouble. I think he's had to pit a couple of times, unscheduled pit stops. Still good points from him. In fact, Kelsey would pick up the Haas team's first points for this division if he stays as it is. Right, let's go back to the stream. Get the last couple laps interaction. Now Tomo's outside the 3-second gap that he needs to be second. As long as Alco can keep his tyres, Alco might have second place his. Still, we had Rebster last week get his first podium. Can Tomo get his first podium? I think this is the first podium that I've commentated on since way back, like years and years ago. If he gets it, I'll refer it to him, but will be a very popular podium, I believe. Timmer as well, after getting 5th place last time out, 4th place for him. He's been cheered on by 4 in the chat, who unfortunately had that incident at turn 2. Tomer again getting within 3 seconds. It's just hovering. I don't know whether he knows that he's there, but he's back into hot lap mode again. So he's keeping now. Needs to work on the management of VRS, but again he's got within 3 seconds now because of it. Yeah, he's run out of VRS for this lap, so Alco 17 laps now on hard tyres. Gap at the front has gone down to 12.5 seconds, but Ace is cruising at this point. Doesn't need to do anything more, Acer. Anything else? Ace Air is catching Primus a little bit, but not too much. Fastest up at the moment is Tigosaurus, so he'll get that extra point. So he'll be getting 11 points actually. Yellow flags are set to 2. What's going on? Oh, Ace Air's gone off. He's had a spin at turn 9. Right in front of his teammate actually, so should let him safely through. Oh, and Kelsey's gone. Where is that? Turn 4. So Orphan is going to get 8th place. Well, safety car. No. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. With 4 laps to go, boys. Wait. I'm done. I'm done. I have no words. I have no words. So what's this safety car going to do? Is this going to be like a 1-lap shootout? I've never seen this. Guys in the chat, when they done this update, did they actually fix the safety car? Because this is the first race since then. Tomo's pitting, probably for soft tyres. Mediums actually. So he pits. Timmer takes track position. Where's Tomo going to come out? Behind Tigosaurus? Yeah, behind Tigosaurus as well. So this is a gamble for Tomo. But what is his safety car going to do? Yeah, Shrimper saying it. That has wiped out the lead that Acer Facer had. He had a 15-second lead cruising to the flag, and now he's going to have Alco right on the back. But Alco's on worn tyres. So it depends what this safety car does. How long is it going to stay out? It's going to probably go into the pits like lap 32 or the beginning of lap 33. Goodness me, I have just no idea. No idea at this point. Acer is a lap down in between, as is Alco. Alco's actually in between his teammate and the leader, Acer Facer, so yeah, Patronus pointing out this is going to be a 1-lap shootout. Beautiful. Is any of these guys going to pit? No. Clown of Acer getting out of the way. Wouldn't it be interesting if it starts raining now? Then what do you do? No, that'd be even more crazy. Right. So actually, the guys in the driving seat now would be Primus. Well, actually, would be Primus, but he can't unlap himself. He can't do anything. So he's stuck behind Acer. He's right in between his teammate. So his teammate can't go for the win at the moment. This is fascinating stuff. Absolutely fascinating stuff. Tim is into third at this moment. But Tomo's on the freshest tyres out of the top 5 by a mile. But he's going to have a lap at this rate to do anything about it. And he's got Tigosaurus, a lap down Acer, and a lap down Primus to get to the lead. Yeah, let the dives commence. Hopefully this will be clean, but I'm predicting the gloves are going to be off for this last lap. Yeah, guys in the chat, can you confirm this latest update that we had this afternoon? Safety cars in this lap, it's going to be 2 laps. 2-lap shootout for all these guys, and Alco has got to... Oh, Acer! No! He's got a penalty! Colliding with Primus. He's slowing the back down massively, but he's got a penalty. That's him out of it. Oh goodness me. Well, that's... He might appeal to have that off, to be honest, but that's not going to help him at all. But what's Primus going to do? Surely he's going to pave the way for his teammate to have a challenge on Acer. But here we go, this is 2 laps now. And Primus is going straight out the way of Alco. He's going to get the slipstream off of the... Look at the gap behind. The gap behind Tigosaurus is going to have a look. Oh, he's actually lapping Acer. As Alco is going to be right up the back. He is right up the back of Acer face, but does he have the tyres to last? He's on 20 lap old hards. His grip must be absolutely all over the place. And Timmer is just about holding on to that third place. He's got Tigosaurus all over the back of him. But Alco, surely with that penalty. Oh, there's a collision. Acer's round. Acer's round, spinning it. But we have 1.5 laps to go. Tigosaurus just hanging on. I mean, Timmer's just hanging on to third place. Tomo's right at the back of him. Remember, he's on the freshest tyres out of everyone. I don't know where to look. Alco's going for the lead, and he takes the lead. Might have pushed Acer Facer out a little bit, but he's in the lead now. It's on leader, that's why. My gaps are all wrong. Update had nothing to do with safety car. It seemed to be fixed for me, and Tigosaurus is right at the back of Timmer. Timmer's under massive pressure for this podium. He's defending right on the inside, but Tigosaurus is going to be right at the back of him. Tomo's not close enough. Tigosaurus is going for third place into turn 1. Surely he's got it done, or can Timmer hold around the outside? No. Tigosaurus into third place. Rumbles over the curb that he spun over twice. And Tomo getting massive understeers right over the curb. He's on the fresher tyres. He should be making moves, but he's not. He can't get the tyres warmed up. Back up at the front. Alco leads on this last lap of the race. He's on 21 lap old hard tyres. How this race has changed is ridiculous. But Acer Facer, I fear, well, that penalty is going to drop him way back. So Tigosaurus will provisionally go into second and Tim into third. Go right down to fifth actually for Acer. But Alco, he's on the last few corners of this race. This crazy race that really should have been quieter. Really could have been quieter than last week. But Alco says it's going to come out of the last corner, and he is going to take probably an unlikely victory considering where he was, but he takes the victory. He has an unserved penalty, so Timmer wins. No. Oh my god, I completely forgot that Alco had an unserved penalty. So Timmer's won the race. Um, um, guys, I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. Oh dear. Timmer has won with Tomo in second and Alco third. Timmer, I think that's his very first race victory. Oh my god. So Alco, yeah, he had an unserved penalty. Ace of Face obviously had his. Where was Tigosaurus and all that? Did he have a penalty as well? There's going to be a lot to sort out, but provisionally, this is what we've got to go with, guys. The result, there's going to be penalties all over the place, yeah. So Timmer takes the victory with Tomo second and Alco Saints third. Ace of Face fourth, Tigosaurus fifth, Primus, who was a lap down after all that, in the safety car, was sixth. Ace Air 7th, Overcome Orphan 8th, Kelsey did not finish in 9th with 4 received, Blazer Guns and Rebster not making it to the end. Wow. Just when you think safety car was in and it all settled it out, even on the last lap it changes because of these penalties. I completely forgot Alco. When did Alco get one? We're going to have to ask him. We're going to have to ask him in this podium, which... Jeez, it's going to be a fun podium. Alright, let's get these guys in. Right, here we are. My goodness me. Goodness me. Right, put a tick in the box, guys, if you haven't done this before.
Yeah.
Which I know a couple of you haven't. So we can hear your thoughts after yet another crazy race that this series provided. But we start off with third place, Alco Saints. You surprised me because I thought you'd won, and then it said you had a unserved drive-through.
Yeah, it's because what happened is when I tried to go on the inside of Tigosaurus in early stages of the race, we got contact and I went off the track, hit the wall. I had to come back on the track, and when I had an orange wing, and it was really hard to slow down for the pits. So I was like, it was only like 3 miles per hour over, but it was still the penalty.
Oh, it's been in the pit lane.
Yeah, it was, and I missed a chance for the pit of when the safety car came out 3 laps before the finish of the race. So I had to have an unserved penalty. But it was an amazing race. I want to give a shout out to Braver as well. He's been an amazing coach and a very good engineer for us and me and Primus. And unfortunately, on Primus's part, he got a little bit lower in the order than he would want to, but it's still a good race. And Red Bull are hoping to do more and get stronger.
Yeah, a crazy race. I mean, I had this all prepared because I had like Acer Facer, and I was like, oh, he's going to be doing well for the championship. I'm going to refer to my table once again. But for yourself a good podium. I think that's your first podium this season.
It's my first podium this season. Yeah. But I think it's my 4th overall, I believe, in my F1 license.
Okay, so of course, but yeah, crazy race. Obviously you had that mistake at the end of the first stint when you were battling. I think for the lead, was it? And then Obviously, you had a bit early for the hard tyres. Did you think
Yeah, that
you
was
could still get a podium out of that?
I was debating whether to go on too soft so I can charge on more, but I had confidence in my tyre wear as well, so I went for the hards. But obviously, when the safety car came out 3 laps before, that got me debating again, but I didn't do it because there's only 3 laps to go, and I thought that's just going to make me lose more time and I'll be more down the order. Um, and my hards were only on, I think, overall 42%, when even though that I pitted on like lap 4, I think it was, or lap 5. Oh no, lap 11, was it?
Yep.
Something like that? Or something?
I think 11 or 12.
11 or 12,
And
yeah.
I was saying, if you were to go to the end on those hard tyres, it'd be hard pushed to do so. You did in the end, 21 laps, I think, on the hards by the end of that, but...
I was only on 42% as well, on my rears. I think it was only 30-something on my fronts. So it's not...
Pretty good then.
Yeah.
Pretty good then, but yeah, even so, third place, missed out on the win, but still got to be happy with third.
It's been a good race. It was a good battle with Tomo for a little bit. I saw him catch him up, and then he seemed to have backed off a little, which worried me a bit. He thought about my penalty or something, but yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, good points for a board. Just noticed you would have gained a little bit on Alpha, I think, in the teams championship. So let's see that rumble on.
Definitely, we'll bring it to him.
Yeah, congrats on third place.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go. I believe, I hate this because this is the first podium and I've known Tomo for like 5 games now. This is the first podium I've commentated on, and his mic is broken. Why?
Oh, is his mic broken?
What is that? Oh, okay. He's put a message. Okay, good. He said, unfortunately, my headset isn't working, but well happy with second place. Congrats to Timmer for the win and great racing with science. Woohoo! Loads of exclamation marks. Get on the podium again by the end of the season, Tomo, because I want to hear your reaction properly. But thank you for that. Yeah, obviously, well done to Tomo in the Ferrari, getting second place for him after that. But we must head on to our race winner, and he's probably just as surprised as me, and that is Timmer.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
How can you sum up that? Because you were like, I think you were 4th or 5th over the line.
I was 5th, and I came. Yeah, no, it's 4th over the line. Yeah. I just kept it clean. I didn't get any penalties. That's literally I kept plugging away. I actually didn't even think the lads had penalties. I was that focused on trying to catch them that I didn't even ask Jeff what the story was going around me. So, that's it. Like, just give a huge shout out there to Boda, McCracken, Webster, Thor, and Orphan. Practice with them a lot, and they're really pushing me. So it's nice to get the practice in as well. You know. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, because obviously you'd be the same to admit, obviously this race win has come with a little bit of luck with obviously the safety car and people having penalties as well, some of which were debatable. There may be a change after this race. I will point that out. There were a few that might be taken off, but provisionally obviously we've got to go with this. But even before the safety car came out, you were in a solid position. You're battling with Thor and Tomo for what ended up being third place after the mistakes from Tegosaurus and Alco. So you had solid pace all around. You were keeping your nose clean from compared to everyone else. Do you reckon a third could have been possible before this last minute safety car?
I was probably happy enough with fourth because I seen Tegosaurus coming up behind me, and I know he's way quicker than me. So when the safety car started, so I said that guy's going to pass me within 2 or 3 turns, and he's going to be gone. So, but that's I just kept it clean, and I didn't get any penalties, so that kind of stood to me today.
Yes. So yeah, crazy race.
Crazy race, yeah.
I mean, I said at the start of the stream, maybe we can have a little bit more of a calmer stream this time. Calmer race than Baku. No, not a chance. Not a chance.
No, no,
And
no. It's more exciting, isn't it?
And oh, what track do we have next? Monaco. So right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because obviously you've shown that you can keep your head in the game with a crazy race at Baku. Obviously you got 5th last time out. You got the win this time out in a crazy race. Yes, luck, but you still have to be there to pick it up, regardless of what happens. So, is it going to be pretty much the same going into Monaco? Just keep it around because that's all what Monaco is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to try and keep it clean and stay out of the wall if I can. Yeah, no, I just want to finish Monaco really. That's wouldn't be my most favorite track now.
Yes, but yeah, for yourself and for the championship for Renault is good points for you. Maybe you can push on from there, get a good solid finish.
Yeah, hopefully now we can do something with that. Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, yes. Well, yeah, congrats on your win. Congrats on these 3 in the podium after a crazy race that provided everything, even throughout qualifying and into the race. We had 2 safety cars, lads. 2. What is it with you guys? No one else gets one.
I know.
No one else gets one. Last week you had 1, surprisingly, and then this week you get 2. Even providing a 2-lap shootout at the end as well, so
Monaco will probably get 5, so that's going to be an interesting race.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Yeah, that's been the Spanish Grand Prix, guys, for RSF1 in the Tier 4 division. Absolutely very interesting race for today. Hopefully you guys have all enjoyed it. Thank you for the support once again. We had a spike of like 20 viewers at one point, so thank you once again for watching. But thank you, Tommy. Yes, join us next week for the Battle of Monaco. Is it battle or is it going to be survival? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen if you can do that around Spain and Baku, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have one more race for the Spanish Grand Prix to provide, and that's the F3 stream for tomorrow. So join us at 8 PM. See what they can do. They got a lot to live up to after tonight. But for myself, Scorpion, I will see you next week or next time I stream. But for next week of F4, see you then.